Right, today is day 6 and I'm going to talk about my long-term plans. Smoking a lot of cigarettes, if you've been watching you'll know that. So my long-term plan is to quit smoking to quit smoking cigarettes and then possibly go back to weed eventually. But when I get to day 7 of weed, I'm going to be fairly convinced that I've got control of it. I don't think 30 days is needed. I'm personally feeling all right now. The biggest symptom I've got is kind of mild boredness, because no longer can I be happy doing nothing. I've kind of got to find stuff for me to do, and I'm very not used to that. So that's difficult. So from day 7 to day 14 is going to be for me quitting cigarettes, and then from day for the week after that is going to be I'm going to be smoking an e-cig for that week, and then for the final week, the fourth week, I'm gonna attempt nothing, because that's the best way that I can see doing it. Just gentle weaning over time, rather than going full on and risking it. So I've got two more days. Today being one, and tomorrow's my last day of cigarettes, and then from day 8 onwards, I'm gonna be on e-cigs only. I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. I think quitting cigarettes is going to be a lot harder because it is physically addictive. You do get addicted to tobacco. That's not, no one ever tries to argue against that. People argue against weed being addictive all the time, and each to their own. Some people can get addicted to something that's not addictive due to their personality. Maybe, I don't know. But what I'm going to say is tips, or a tip, the only tip that I have, because it's the only thing that helped me, and that is don't stay in the same place for too long. I may have said this before. I'm not good at remembering what I've said prior, but don't stay in the same place too long. Like no more than half an hour doing the same thing, or maybe an hour tops. Obviously, this doesn't count if you've got an activity to do that takes longer than that. But I'm talking about just being in your house on an evening, or in the daytime on a weekend, whatever. When you've not got something to do. So if you're like, oh, I'm a bit bored, I'm going to watch a TV show. Don't watch like 9, because as well, for me, when I watched a few in a row, I was like, TV shows, I'm starting to get bored of this TV show. I'd like a joint, and I would associate TV with weed, and I would associate other things with weed. So I've been trying to tone down on my Xbox. Sorry, my PS4 as well. I used to have an Xbox, because that reminded me of it too. But again, the biggest thing that I think you can do is fill it with activities. If you cut something out of your life, you've got to replace it with something, or else you're going to feel like something's missing. And that's what I perhaps think gives me that kind of weird feeling. Totally unplaceable, just things are a bit different and a bit strange. So what I'm going to do is spend the money that I did spend on weed, although admittedly a lot less, on guitar lessons. I'm going to have one or two or three a week, depending on how expensive it is, and that's going to replace weed for me. That's going to be my new activity to take over weed. I'm going to really get into guitar via lessons. So, if you don't play guitar or any instrument, obviously everyone recommends it because it's fun, it's relaxing. A creative outlet is always good when you've got emotions that you need to get rid of, a negative emotion, or you feel down or something. Creative things always help with that. So, that's why people listen to music and stuff. But making your own music, or playing other people's music on an instrument is good. So I would recommend. Actually, that's probably a second recommendation. Don't do rubbish little shitty activities for more than half an hour, and try and pick up something new. I'd recommend an instrument. I'd recommend the guitar, because it's you can play a huge range of things on it. It's relatively portable, and it's cool, to be honest. Playing guitar is, I think, cool. So that's it, really. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about what my plan is for just the end of it. When date week 4. That's all I'm thinking about. How I'm going to be able to do it with nothing. I mean, a week Monday I'm going to be going to just like 10 or 11 days or something. I'm going to be starting my new job. So hopefully that's going to be easy. I'm going to be super busy and super tired by the end of the day. So that should help me a lot. I've heard some people say that exercise is good. Not for me, because I associated that with weed. You know, I would go on a run or I would go to the gym. I went really infrequently a while ago, but every time I did, it would always be, I've earned a joint for this. You know, I've done loads of exercise, I've earned a joint. So I've still got that association. So I'm coming up with more things as I go here. So tip number 3 would be realize what you associate with weed and don't do it or cut it down or replace it with something. So if you're like me and you associate the majority of your life with weed, you know, getting into my car I associate with weed because, you know, I used to smoke in my front drive in my car. That used to be where I would do it, you know, go into my car, smoke, go into my house, but then started smoking in my house, and that's when it led to like 3 ounces in 3 weeks, and that was when I was like, you know, I just spent all the money. I was like, whoa, I've made a mistake here. So if you are going to smoke weed, do your best to not smoke it inside, because that makes it super easy to smoke a whole load. My plan is to smoke bong hits if I ever want to smoke weed again, to avoid getting addicted to cigarettes, because the way I got addicted to cigarettes was via the tobacco and joints. I never originally smoked cigarettes. It only came as like a tide me over sort of thing until I got some weed. So that's it. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of this. I'm gonna go back home now, eat some food, because I haven't been eating much through the week, as I've explained. So good luck to you. I hope you've been following me. Well, I hope you've been following your own path with some assistance from me, maybe. So this is me signing off. Day 6, feeling good right now. Feeling seriously good. I'm proud of myself, to be honest. You know, I'm really proud of myself. And I hope you can get to a point where you're proud of yourself too. But you should be proud of yourself anyway. Alright, goodbye.